Tucked behind a nondescript roll-up door is a world where chrome drips like paint, engines whisper like jazz, and every car tells a story you can't forget. Welcome to Vice City District. Elo, whose love for cars goes way beyond steel and horsepower. We stepped inside his custom-styled space to talk passion, design, and the soul behind the builds. This is JoJo, and you're watching Live Life Custom.
Ready for the questions?
For sure.
Here we go.
100.
Let's start with the obvious. What was the very first car that ignited your lifelong love for cars?
So I probably think I should go back to when I was born. I was not conscious, but just the fact that my father, when I was born, took me from the hospital to our home in a 1969 DS. Wow. And I was born in 1972, so he already had this car a few years. But he drove me from the hospital to the house in this old Citroen. It's a French car that has an air suspension. I probably was unconscious then, but that moment would have been my first sensation of rolling, right?
Like you feel it.
So I might have felt it. So what I did is when I started collecting cars, I found that car and I owned that car now.
That's awesome. All right, if you could pick one car to define your personality, which one would it be and why?
I think the Lamborghini Rat Rod would be my ultimate personality. This is only because I like individualism and I like living on an edge of creativity. So if you think about it, creativeness is the expression of one's true self. All these other cars are expressions of all these other designers. So hot rods, for me, it's an expression of somebody's true self, meaning they're expressing themselves the way they want to. They've made the car,
they want to build it.
They build it to their specifications. Right. So that there for me was an expression of my true self.
Who you want to be.
I always loved the idea of exotics and hot rods and putting them together, and having a Lamborghini hot rod was
dope.
The ultimate
Right.
one, right? So
for sure. Okay, what inspired you to create a space that blends art and automobiles?
So I think I'm an artist at heart, but I'm not good at expressing those art forms in paintings. But I dream. The first part of art comes in the dreaming of being or doing or building something.
Right.
And now making that a reality is expressing what you've seen in your dreams into reality. And that's what I really like doing.
I love that. What do you want people to feel when they walk through Vice City District?
So this is like, a lot of people have asked me this question, JoJo, and I was a bit lost when I moved from Wynwood to here, because I had built my entire brand as Supercar Rooms.
Right.
And I was struggling to figure out how I can envisage Supercar Rooms with an identity of white, aluminum, and silver in a place so gothic, you know, real, vintage, retro. And in my mind, I figured out, why did I move to Miami? I moved here because of the dream of living that Miami life. The art life, the flamingo life. That's why there's a flamingo on my wall.
Yeah.
Sunshine, beaches, cars, weather, cool things. Like, I remember growing up in London, looking through the window and it being a rainy day and thinking, oh, I would swap this rain for being on the beach in Miami today.
Right.
And, you know, ladies in bikinis, cars, all that stuff was like, whoa,
right?
Wow,
yeah.
Right? So when I walked in here, I was standing about here, not necessarily here, maybe a little further. And right behind us is a railway track on the other side of the river, of the river. And the train went by. And I had a few cars just thrown in. And as the train went by, I'm like, this is a Vice City vibe. This is like a Miami Vice City. Yeah. So what do I want to put out to the public when they come to Vice City is literally Miami in the 1980s. I call it nostalgic tech.
I love it.
So I want to show the nostalgia of the 80s and the 90s, but in modern world with tech of today. So all the walls, all these art pieces, but they're augmented too. So if you take your phone and you go on it, JoJo, they start moving.
Yeah.
And I want to do the same with the cars. So I want to bring that 80s glam Miami in a nostalgic vibe with a lot of tech cool cars, cool people, culinary, fashion, music, all the art pieces. I want to merge it into one pot.
I think you're doing a great job. It's amazing in here. How do you select the cars on display?
I actually don't select them, they select me. It's weird because I don't buy a car because I want that car. I buy a car because there's a sensation about it. And there is a vibe to it that kind of attracts me to that type of car. Lately, I've been really attracted to 1980s cars that could have been in Miami in the 80s. So things like Cadillac Sevilles, convertible.
Yeah.
I'm looking at,
nostalgic.
Malibus.
Now nostalgic.
Yeah, and those, C4 Corvettes of the 80s that people didn't want. I'm beginning to look at them.
Right.
And I'm beginning to see them as potential cars. You could see I have a 1981 Porsche, which is very 1980s. That's actually a car that was used in the movie Scarface and signed by the Scarface actors. So I wanted all that world of Miami back in that time. And that's why I'm kind of like, so when opportunities come, I just take it.
I love it. The 60s give us timeless style. What's your favorite car from that era?
The 60s, I must say, I absolutely love the Mustangs. But I also like the big American Chevy Impalas, Chevy, Biscaynes, the Cadillacs of the 60s, the Eldorado. I like that.
Yeah.
I consider those cars a car that it was. At that point, cars were designed to be family cars. So It needed to take a whole family, including all your luggage, into the trunk of the car. So
it was useful.
It was useful.
Yeah. The 70s were all about bold lines and power. Which car from the 70s is a must-have in any collection?
So, personally, I actually have one. It's out there. I need to restore it. But the Stutz Bearcat is the ultimate 70s car. So in the 70s, the world took a different turn, especially here in the US.
Right.
The world took a turn of excess, meaning the excess of the 80s started really in the 70s with all the guys that lived that life of, big fur coats in New York, dapper jackets, leopard skins, big, like that 70s
that show
vibe.
Off.
And that entire Superfly vibe of that Superfly guy with the Superfly car was what I watched. I watched Richard Roundtree, on TV on Shaft, and I wanted to be Shaft. You know what I mean?
All right, the 80s brought a turbocharged edge. What's your top pick from the 80s and why?
So the 80s was a very interesting time, JoJo, and I tell you this because people became more wanting more of the excess. This is the time of cocaine cowboys, the kings of South America, when money was, it became, I call it sophisticated vulgarism, because it was vulgarism, but it was vulgarism for the few that could. It leveled the playing field. All of a sudden, it wasn't just the elite and very high, rich individuals that had cars, but the street boys worked hard and earned the money to buy themselves a car. So they started putting their own identity. Yeah. So I like the extreme of the 80s, the twin turbos. Like, who needs two turbo? I mean, you already have 250, 270 brake. Then you have one turbo. Then you have a twin turbo. And then you have cars pushing 600-700 brake horsepower. It's like insane. That world of excess where people realize that people would buy things not because they want it, not because they need it, but because they can, was the 80s.
The 90s, here we go. Introduced modern luxury and a new wave of imports in JDM. What's your favorite in the 90s?
JDMs have always been very interesting to me because I've always loved the Japanese vibe of vehicles. I've always liked the entire build it in Japan because there is a true identity of Japanese cars I call a cultural revolution. Japanese never built cars in order for status. They built cars for performance. And that performance enhancing ability of building a small sports car that could rival a supercar me was absolutely street
Yeah.
needed. This is like, it came from the streets.
Yeah.
It's a street culture. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you get given a Civic, but you want your Civic to
Souped
beat,
up
yeah,
and
you want it to beat
you
the
want it
Ferrari.
fast,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. 90s was more the leveling of the playing field, because now they took street culture. Now, it didn't matter how much the car cost. You didn't have to have a Mercedes or a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. You can have a Supra, a Civic, or a Mitsubishi, and you
race.
and you compete. Yeah. So it leveled the playing field with now real passionate people.
Yeah.
People that live cars, sleep cars.
I
eat
love
cars.
I love your knowledge of every year. Like
Oh yeah, I'm a decade
every decade.
person.
Yeah,
I'm a decade
that's awesome.
person. This is a very special car, JoJo, and it's special because of two things: one, the provenance, and two, what it took for me to get this car. So I'll start with the provenance. This is a 1962 Ferrari 196 SP.
It's gorgeous.
And it's a Ferrari back then that was built for one purpose only, racing, but it was also built as a day-to-day car. So they were called baquetas. You drive them on the weekdays, and on the weekends you race them. This is prior the complete Formula One racing teams that you have today.
Right.
People kind of race their own cars and make their own little race teams. This is one of 12 in existence. This car was actually bought by an owner in Italy, stored in the barn for years, and when he came and removed all the covers off the barn, then he realized the car had cracked.
Oh wow.
Why did this car crack so much? Because over the years, the car expanded and retracted. So when you keep a car on the covers from the cold, yeah, especially north of Italy.
Right.
If it was in Sardinia or in the south of Italy,
Right.
there'd be no problem because there's just constant cold weather. Yes.
Yeah.
But in north of Italy, by the Alps, the winters were pretty cold,
Yeah.
and then the summers were pretty warm.
Yeah,
So the aluminum expands, and then it cracked. Now, I like it the way it is because it is in its juice. Yeah, it's in its juice, and it's probably the only Ferrari left, JoJo, that has not been restored.
Wow.
Because all the other cars, they tend to restore them because they're worth lots and lots of money. So you can see even here, you can see that's a dust back when it was raced. I could have taken that off and cleaned it off, and that's Italian dust or grit in there.
Straight from Italy.
Yeah, from Italy. So
Italy dust.
yeah, Italy dust. So it's something I
get rid of
really enjoy. I like it in its juice. It's called in its juice because you only have a car original once in your life, after which it's not original.
I love this.
Yeah. So,
I love that you
and
kept it.
once a year, we organize a startup, and we have the Ferrari Owners Club come by, and they love it because it sounds like a Swiss machine. You know, it
still runs.
It still runs. So. Yeah, we started up, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, and it starts, and it's just a moment of analogism.
Yeah. All right, so tell us about this beautiful beast.
So behind me, it's probably the car that most people know me for here in the US.
Mm-hmm.
I founded the London Motor Museum in England. So in England, it was a pretty easy way to navigate the automotive scene because people know me as the founder of the London Motor Museum. So I got a lot of doors opened up for me in London. Yeah. Moved here, and I came into the Miami car scene, and we're like, who the hell are you? Right? So I was looking for a car. I moved here in 2014, and I was looking for a car to basically show what my whole ideology of what I love about cars was. So I reached out to a really good friend of mine at the time, Danton Customs, and he's out of France, and he was known to build really wild hot rods.
Nice.
And between myself, Danton, and Fabio Lamborghini, we came up with the idea of building a car for the 50th anniversary of Lamborghini. And we launched it at the Café de Paris in Monaco, where Lamborghini launched its first car.
That's awesome.
So this for us was a car that was very misunderstood. And you know why it was misunderstood and we chose this particular car to do this? So Lamborghini ran out of money in the late 60s and he needed an investor. So he got an investor who invested money, but the investor wanted him to build 4-seater touring cars to sell in America. And in his head, the best-selling car in America at the time was a Challenger. So if we can build a car that can be faster than the Challenger, bigger than the Challenger, 4-seater, and the most sporty Challenger will win the market. So he invested the money for Lamborghini to build the car. But Lamborghini hated that project because that was not his.
That wasn't his.
It wasn't his own.
Yeah.
His own design. His
Yeah.
own. He wasn't. He was being told what to do by the investor. So the Lamborghini called it Espada, the sword that kills the bull. He's the bull, and the sword is killing the bull. So, fast forward, the cars came to the U.S. in the '60s. Nobody bought them. One thing they did not realize is that Americans were very patriotic, and that Americans would buy American-made
cars,
first.
Right.
So they brought these cars out at the time for about $11,000, and people wouldn't buy it. But you could go and buy yourself a brand new Challenger RT for $7,000. So they reduced it from 11 to 9. They still didn't sell them. They reduced from 9 to 7. They still didn't sell it. At the end, they ended up selling the 11 cars that they had shipped over here to see what it would look like for $3,000 to $4,000 a car.
Wow.
Half the price of what it cost to make it.
Yeah.
Put it this way, Lamborghini was so disappointed by that that he started building another car out of hate to his investor, telling him what to do. And that car he built in a little corner of the Santa Agata de Bolognese warehouse. And he called that project Countach. In his dialect, Countach is fuck you. So he was more or less saying to the investor, like, no, but he was more or less telling the inventor, fuck you.
Right.
So I'm going to do my own thing. And when that car came out in '71, people loved it so much, orders started flowing in. That's the second car that is now named by a bull, Countach. So Countach and Espada are the two cars now named by bulls. And this has the same engine as the Countach, which is worth $1 million today.
Yeah.
But we took an Espada to build this project out of because we wanted to glamorize the story behind every failure.
I love that.
Behind every failure is a success. Yep. If he hadn't failed, that Countach could never have ever happened. And that Countach is what made him whole.
All right, Elo, let's hear about this wonderful beauty right here.
So you obviously know this is a car that is absolutely legendary. And I've got to say this. I always tell people there's one car and there's only one manufacturer that had one car and it became legendary, and that is DeLorean. He never built another car. He built one car only, and the car became legendary. Yes, the movie Back to the Future, but before the movie, this car is just the epitome of the 80s. And I could not have a glamorized technology hub or nostalgic tech in Miami showing off the 80s without the DeLorean. Right. So, first of all, in its time, it was made out of stainless steel. The doors, yes, Mercedes already had the gull wing doors at some point. So these are gull wing doors. But this car is very special. It's not just any DeLorean. It's stick shift, and it's also used to be owned by Kat DeLorean, DeLorean's daughter. So it's from the DeLorean family.
Yeah.
And that is special.
Amazing.
That's super special. So you can see there is two colors on it because we wanted to commemorate DeLorean's deal with. So John DeLorean at some point decided to build 3 gold-plated cars. And that was a collaboration he had with American Express. And when we had Kat DeLorean here for Art Basel, we wanted to talk about that story of the 2 colors, the gold and the silver, or the stainless. So you can see on one side there's a gold wrap, and then on the other side is the original stainless. Cool. I put these 2 bands, these 2 colors of Vice City District, which is also your colors anyway, for your company, on it, so that people know this is actually a Vice City District vehicle. Because otherwise, they're all the same colors. You know, so I didn't want the DeLorean to just be like another DeLorean. So I wanted,
it's the DeLorean family.
Yeah, but I wanted it to be photographed like, okay, that's a Vice City District car.
Yes.
So when we take it to DeLorean meets and we meet loads of other DeLoreans, sometimes it's hard. You look at 20 DeLoreans, like, which one is yours? You know, so this
fits. This is the Vice City DeLorean.
That's a Vice City DeLorean.
Alrighty, Lo, here we go. Rapid fire. Question 1. Best car era, 60s, 70s, or 80s?
80s.
Favorite car event or race?
I would say Festival of Speed Revival in London, in
Okay.
England. Sure.
Most iconic car design?
Mercedes Goldwing.
Most iconic sounding car?
Woo! V12s. I love the sounds of the V12, so it's either between the Ferrari F50 or the
You get one answer.
okay, I call it the Ferrari F50.
Okay. Go to takeout food?
Me, go to takeout food, Thai.
Ooh, I love. You're starting a soccer club. Prime Pele or Prime Messi?
Prime Pele.
Okay. You're at a road course. A Ferrari F50 challenged you to a race. What car are you hopping into?
I was gonna hop into an F50. It's the one car I never owned. If that F50 challenges
right,
into a race, I'll
you
probably hop into a Countach
I mean,
5000S.
you could hop into the same car and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe I'm a better driver
Yeah,
than
exactly.
the AI.
You're at a drag strip. A 1970 454 Chevelle challenges you to a straight from the factory race. What muscle car are you hopping into?
Oh, definitely 69 Charger.
Nice.
Big block 69 Charger RT, definitely all day.
Nice.
No substitute for cubic inches there.
All right, guys. Well, we've had an amazing time. Thank you so much for showing
No,
us your
thank you
beautiful...
for coming over and living our little dream of paradise. We call
love
this a cathedral of cool. So in case people want to get married, I'm going to be doing some marriages
Really?
here too.
We could have got married here.
You know, so in case anybody wants to get married, you can get married
That's amazing.
at the district of cool. I'm going to
love
become
that.
a priest, not
Are
getting
you?
people married. Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, thank you so much for having us. It's
Who dare dreams, they win. Cheers. This is Elo. You're watching Live Life Customs. Stay tuned for the best automotive content.